やめて。ハン魔法の毒でサク太郎を焼かないで。いじめないで。侮辱しないで。否定しないで。マリアお姉ちゃん変だな。サク太郎なんかいないよ。ぬいぐるみは布と綿でできてるってママに習ったもん。歩いたり喋ったりなんかできる。無理。サク太郎、サク太郎、ぬいぐるみじゃないもん。ぬいぐるみじゃないもん。友達だもん。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Rosa had heard that, she'd smack the shit out of Angie. And then, what had been peaceful days to me became a daydream and ended. By now it's impossible to prove. No one can verify whether that really was magic or whether those were really my friends, or else nothing more than a daydream. I, the sole observer, concluded that they were a daydream. So that became the truth. Perhaps in the farther future I'll observe it again, and when that happens, maybe I'll acknowledge that it wasn't a dream. If the seven sisters were really my friends, and that along with Maria and Sakataru, they did everything they could for me in my isolation. Something so vague is neither the truth nor an illusion. Maybe the reality here is now that is the only world with the real me. Where's the real me? The person standing amidst the girl's exposed wreckage that resembles broken glass sculptures. That girl who's breathing harshly, her shoulders heaving, isn't me. I'm over there. The me that's surrounded by a crowd and being showered by jeers, and who's hanging her head, her eyes red, isn't the me over there. The real me? I won't dream anymore, because there's nowhere left to run. I'm going back. I'll return myself to the cage made of flesh.
ねえ、話聞こえてますかしら？いつまでもうつむいていても何の解決にもなりませんわよ。聞こえてるわ。ああ、やっと返事した。このまま黙ってれば終わるとか、泣けば許してもらえるとか、そういうこと考えてるんじゃないの？あんた、自覚あるかって聞いてるのよ。自分が周りに迷惑かけてるって自覚があるのかって聞いてんのよ。
I slowly nodded. I acknowledged it. I acknowledged that I had slipped into the world of my daydream, trying to remain separate from the others in my class. To separate myself from disgrace, those sisters who spoke to me with reliable and kind words, despite being totally unable to help when I really wanted them to. I acknowledged that.
クラスメート全体に対し過度の劣等感を持っていたからとは構いません。私は生きてても仕方ありません。
Starting there, I was no longer reading the paragraph they'd made me write. It was me improvising, and it was what was in my heart. They noticed that it wasn't what they'd anticipated, but while they did frown, no one spoke, so I continued.
そうです。私は生きてても仕方がなかった。1986年のあの日に私も連れて行ってもらうはずだったんです。なのに私だけが連れて行ってもらえなかった。どうして？ここは私のいる世界じゃない。誰も助けてくれません。一時 私の中に生まれた架空の友人たちだけが。でも友人たちは所詮は妄想で。だってここは妄想の世界じゃなくて現実の世界だから。だからつまり私は今日までずっと白天実のクラスメートを嫌い、妄想の友人たちとの交流の中だけに生きて、その友人たちとはさっき決別しました。だから私がここにいます。家族もいません。友人も捨てました。もう私には。どうして死なないの？さっきそう聞いた人がいました。その通りだと思います。どうして私は1986年に私は、きっと死んだんです。なのに私の殺された魂は未だにこの肉の檻に閉じ込められている。だから誰かに求めよう。それに誰も答えてくれないのは自分で死を、誰か私を死なせてください。
Jesus. I spoke that sentence and looked around. Dumbfounded girls, shocked girls, girls whose faces seemed to be saying, "What the heck is this kid talking about?" And a bit late, more and more girls with faces that said, "Is this girl alright?" Whisper, chatter, and then giggle. When I ordered the friends of my daydream to kill, they couldn't do it. And so, I asked real humans to kill me. But of course these girls can't do it either. In other words, both daydreams and reality are the same. Doesn't this mean that, including this world, absolutely everything is a daydream? Then there's no problem, right? After all, on that day when I lost my family, I was already dead. Everything that happened afterwards is going on in my head, my life flashing before my eyes after I failed to die. Once I understood that, I felt like the scenery surrounding me began to twist and bend slightly. Yeah, I'll finally wake up. I'll be released from this daydream world. I feel my consciousness sliding away. That's alright. Fade farther and farther away and take me to my family. Then no matter what happens in this twisted, stale world, I wouldn't mind it at all. I saw the crowd getting pushed aside as the teacher stepped in. Perhaps the teacher doing the rounds happened to notice a strange disturbance. The teacher was vigorously shouting something, moving to protect me. Watching that, I knew that an ally had appeared for me, even if there was only one, and I felt my awareness return very slightly. The only ones who can save me in the world of reality are real humans. Never again. Never again will I seek rescue from daydreams. This is the world of humans. Nothing can save a human except other humans. God.
エンジがそう思ったなら、それがエンジの世界。エンジ、これで幸せになれる？エンジがそれでしか幸せになれないと信じたなら、もうそれしかない。カゴの中にいる青い鳥をそうだと認められない。どこまでも探しに行かざるを得ない。ウリュウ、マリアとエンジェはもう絶好なの？絶好なんかじゃないよ。エンジェがそれを求めたからそうしただけ。私たち魔女は時に迫害を受けるけれども、でも常にみんなの身近にある。
Even when they try to fuck over us.
そしてきっとその助けを求められる。エンジェもまた僕たちと遊んでくれる日が来る？
Yeah.
来ないでそのまま忘れてしまうこともあるかもしれない。人の世ではそれを成長や決別と呼ぶから。でも
If Angie just remembers, we'll always be by her side, and until then we'll be waiting. God. That was fucking sad. That's all I can say. Depressing as hell. Oh, good. Please be something sweet. But of course, it's probably not going to be.
ウリュ、マリア、返事して。ウリュ、やっぱり僕ぬいぐるみなの？布と綿でできてるか喋れるわけないの？だからマリアとはおしゃべりできないの？
Sakataru looked up at Maria sadly. Maria's face was covered with tears and it looked as though it had even lost all traces of sadness.
聞こえてるよ、サク太郎。サク太郎は布と綿でできたぬいぐるみなんかじゃないよ。
God, I didn't want to be happy.
マリアのお友達だよ。返事なんか嫌い。ウリュ、マリアごめんね。マリアごめんね。ウリュ。
Sakataru regretted doing that. By freezing her heart, Maria had finally been able to escape from her sadness. By speaking up and calling her back, he'd caused her to be overwhelmed with sadness again. Sakataru tried hugging Maria, letting go of her, and gazing at her uneasily, lost as to how he could bring Maria's spirits up. He might have looked a little humorous doing that. In the end, that was enough to distract Maria from her sadness.
ごめんね。もう泣いても仕方ないもんね。エンジェとは喧嘩しちゃったけど、マリアにはまだたくさん友達がいるよ。僕だけじゃない。みんなもいるよ。サクスケもサク吉も動物の音楽隊も他にも。
Maria looked at the many stuffed animals around her pillow, which were gathered together as though they were having an idle chat.
みんなマリアのこと心配してるよ。どうしたらマリアが元気になってくれるかなってずっと相談しているよ。みんなはエンジェみたいにいなくならない？ならないよ。僕たちはいつだって一緒だよ。本当に？サク太郎たちは家でしか一緒じゃないよ。ママと一緒にお出かけできないし、学校にも一緒に行けないよ。僕たちは学校に行っちゃいけないから、先生に見つかったら怒られちゃうもん。でも見つからないならいつだって一緒にいていいんだよ。
No. Bad.
サク太郎、大きいから見つかっちゃうね。だったら小さくて持ち歩ける子と一緒に行けばいいよ。
No, don't do it.
例えばほら、森の音楽隊の仲間たちなら。ほら、小さいからマリアのポケットに隠れて一緒に学校に行けるよ。
Don't do it.
音楽隊いっぱいいるよ。ポケットに入りきらないよ。
She collected all the forest band pieces that were scattered across her bed. There were about as many as pieces as in a chess set, so it would probably be impossible to fit all of them in her pocket.
なら特に仲良しのお友達だけを連れて行くといいよ。森の音楽隊の中で一番マリアと仲良しのウサギの4人組を連れて行くといいよ。4つならポケットに入る。これなら見つからないね。
This totally isn't going to backfire.
だからマリアはこれで学校でも一人ぼっちじゃないよ。僕が一緒に行けないところでもこの子たちなら一緒にいてくれるよ。なら寂しくないかも。お家に帰ってくるまで我慢できるかも。ママと先生にさえ見つからなければ僕たちはいつだって一緒にいられるんだよ。
Yeah, but what if you get found out, though?
そしていつまでも一緒にいよう。遊んでいよう。僕たちはマリアを絶対に一人ぼっちになんかさせないから。ウリュウ。
Maria's expression finally regained a little of its brightness. That's right. In the beginning, Maria's world didn't have Angie in it. Even without Angie, it was fun with everyone. And yet, strangely enough, it suddenly became sad without Angie. who had come in at the end. All that's happened is that I've returned to the world right before Angie had entered it. There's nothing to be sad about.
寂しくないよ。サクタラもみんなも一緒だもん。ウリュウ、マリア大好き。もう人間なんかにマリアの世界には誰も立ち入らせないよ。マリアージュ・ソルシエールはマリアとベアトリーチェだけの二人きりの同盟。もともとベアともエンジェを加えるのには反対してたし、これでいいんだもんね。エンジェはまだ幼すぎたんだよ。エンジェのことはまた仲良しになれるまで当分を忘れていていいと思うよ。マリアがまた元気を取り戻せたら一緒に遊べばいいよ。それまで僕たちみんながずっとそばにいるからね。ありがとう、サクタロ。みんな。
Oh, I want to die. Then Maria once again regained her former world. She regained the world that wasn't lonely, where she was surrounded by many friends. Just like usual, she didn't have any human friends at school, but her magical friends were always with her. The rabbit band she had in her pockets talked with her during class, sounding like they were having fun. She's going to be yelled at because she's talking in class. Just listening to that greatly embellished the time she spent in class. Maria made it so that as long as Mama and the teacher didn't find out, her other friends could always be with her. When Mama told Maria to go play outside, Maria would secretly pack Sakataro and Sakusuke and the rest into her bag and play together at the library or somewhere. Even when Mama was late coming home and Maria went shopping for dinner, she always went with Sakataro. The man at the convenience store and the other people were nice to Sakataro. He sometimes gave a second portion free for Maria and Sakataro. When Mama found out, Maria would get in trouble for bringing Sakataro and the rest outside. When the teacher found out, Maria would get in trouble for bringing toys to school. The toxin must be strong in Mama and the teacher. That's why Sakataro looks like a normal stuffed animal to them. After all, the convenience store man and the others say hello to Sakataro. Not all humans are hopeless. There are tons of people who, unlike Angie, Mama, and teacher, can say hello to magic friends like I can. Oh my god. Stop. I still want her just to like fucking just hold up this liquor store. It would be, or convenience store. It would make my fucking day. She just pulls out a gun and says, "Give me all the fucking money." Oh god, I love it. Oh, it'd be so adorable too.
今夜もママは帰りが遅いのかい？
うん。でもサクタロたちも一緒だから寂しくないの。ねえサクタロ。ウリュウ、今日はね、僕だけじゃないんだよ。他のお友達も一緒なんだよ。
おや、他のお友達かい？今日はどんなお友達が一緒なんだい？
今日はね、森の音楽隊のウサギさんたちも一緒。ほら、ポケットに入ってるの。
Maria began to line up the 4 ceramic rabbit dolls on the register. As the owner of the shop looked at it, smiling, he sent a signal to a part-time worker with his chin. Then the sign on the other register that said closed was taken down and a voice called out for everyone to move over there. All the people in line behind Maria lined up behind that one.
そうかそうか。マリアちゃんにはお友達がいっぱいだね。ママも早く帰ってきてくれればいいのに。
Yeah, she's going to accidentally break one of those, or someone at school is going to break, and then she's going to be upset.
ママはまたお仕事が忙しくて会社にお泊まりなの。
She probably shouldn't be telling these people that, but okay.
最近はよく忙しくなるの。マリアと電話でお話しする時間も全然取れない。でも寂しくないよ。マリアにはサクタラたちがいるもんね。ウリュウ、ウサギの音楽隊のみんなも一緒だもん。ほら、キューキュー。
ウサギの鳴き声ってキューキューだったっけ？はて、そういや聞いたことないな。
After smiling at Sakataro, who was poking his head out of her knapsack, she played a little around with the rabbit band on the register, making them frolic around. Although the shop manager gazed at this pleasantly, he had a slightly pitied look on his face. This was apparently a single-mother household where the mother had to work hard and couldn't come home very often. On top of that, it looked like this girl didn't even have any friends. As he watched her play around happily with her dolls and claimed that she wasn't lonely despite everything, he couldn't help but feel a kind of compassion. And actually, this wasn't limited to him alone. Maria had quite a famous in the shopping district.
マリアちゃん、たまにはおでんも食べなさい。卵とか練り物とか食べないと大きくなれないよ。
おお、クリームパンじゃダメ？ウリュウ、いろいろ食べないと大きくなれないよ。今日はおでんにしよう。おお、じゃあおでんにする。
そうしなさい。おじさんが多めに入れておくよ。からしいる？
ウリュウ、辛いのは苦手。
そうかそうか。じゃあこぼさないように持って帰りな。温かいうちが美味しいよ。
ありがとう。
She had planned on getting some sweet pastries for dinner, but since Odin had been recommended to her, she would be having that tonight instead. Letting someone else determine the menu makes her for an unexpected and interesting meal. Very often, Maria had to decide what her dinner would be on her own, so it was easy for the menus to get a little one-sided. So it felt fun to have a meal she hadn't anticipated.
ウリュウ、おじさん、おまけしてくれてありがとう。
お家にいる他のお友達にもよろしくね。途中でつまみ食いしちゃダメだよ。まっすぐお家へ帰ってから食べるんだよ。
おじさん、ありがとう。
Maria raised the bag with the Odin container high.
あれ、ウリュウ、どうしたの、マリア。ポケットに鍵がない。
Oh, god damn it. Standing in front of the door to her house, Maria searched all over her body. The key to the house wasn't there. She almost methodically put it in the same pocket. So there was no way she had put it in another pocket, but she searched her whole body just in case. Unsurprisingly, it wasn't there.
お財布を出した時に落とした？お財布を出してしまう時にはちゃんと手応えがあったもん。途中でポケットを探った時にもちゃんと手応えがあった。途中まではあったの。落としてなんかいない。
Well, it's not like it just disappeared. Even though the late autumn wind had been bearable when Maria had been thinking of returning home where the heater was, now that she was confused and had lost her key, the wind tormented her. But no matter how hard she searched, she couldn't find her key. She turned out all her pockets and even tried taking off her jacket and hitting it with no avail. Of course, she also turned the knapsack Sakatara was in upside down, but the key didn't come out. Something that should have been there wasn't there, where it was supposed to be. Why isn't the key there when I didn't do anything wrong? Why isn't it? Why? Why? Maria was cold and frustrated and angry, and she stamped on the ground. The bottom of her foot throbbed, but that didn't lessen her frustration. At the same time, her tears poured down. It wasn't her fault. It was someone else's fault. But Maria didn't know who that someone was and could do nothing but continue to let out a moan of anger. I still want to jump off a fucking building.
きっと途中で落としたんだよ。探そう。来た道を戻って探そう。せっかくおでん買ったのに、卵とかおまけしてもらったのに、あったかいうちに食べられない。マリア、悔しいけど探そう。誰も悪くないよ。探そう。
Maria finally led near to Sakataru's words and began to trot back down the road she had come on. The wind was colder than before, and it felt like it was blowing in through the corners of her jacket in a mean way.
ウリュウ、しっかり足元を見て探そう。そして早くお家に帰って暖房で温まりながらおでんを食べよう。きっと美味しいよ。ない。ない。
As Sakataru encouraged her, Maria searched for the key. But she made it all the way back to the convenience store where she'd bought the Odin. She hadn't found it. Just in case, she asked the man at the convenience store whether they had found a dropped key, but they hadn't found anything. One more time she returned home, paying close attention to the area around her feet, but unsurprisingly she didn't find it. She was no longer frustrated enough to stomp her feet, but hot tears dripped down her face. The udon had cooled down completely. Even though she had been told it would be delicious when warm, she hadn't been able to eat it. Even though that man had given her so much free stuff.
ママは今夜帰ってこないんだよ。頑張って探そう。なんで見つからないの？マリア、泣かないで。頑張って探そう。マリア。
Maria was no longer able to hold back her tears. Sobbing, she clutched Sakataro and held the bag of udon, returned once more down the road she had come by. Perhaps because more and more houses and stores had turned their lights off by now, it was even darker and harder to search than before. And once again, without finding the key, she returned to the convenience store.
マリアちゃん、鍵まだ見つからないのかい？
鍵ない。
お母さん、今日は泊まりだって。鍵ないとお家入れないの？
Break a window.
入れない。
そりゃ困ったね。交番には行ってみた。届いてるかもしれないよ。
ママがおまわりさんに話しかけられてもお話ししちゃダメって言った。
Yeah, fuck the police.
そりゃまたどうして？
Well, I mean, it's not going to be good when a child at, 10 p.m. or 9 p.m., whatever time this is, 7? I don't know what time it is. At night, crying all alone, saying they can't get into their home. That's never a good thing. It was probably because Rosa would be liable for making such a young girl like Maria watch over the house by herself, and because she knew that this wasn't something that would be permitted by society. So Maria was indoctrinated into changing the store she bought things at, so she didn't catch the eyes of adults. And into saying no more than a greeting to policemen, even if they talked to her. Maria had obediently done as she was told. Instead of considering why she must do that, she was much more concerned with meekly obeying because her mother had told her so. But the manager at the convenience store probably didn't think of it that way. In the first place, seeing such a young girl being forced to watch over the house alone and so frequently would make anyone worry. And then, after making the round trip between her home and the store once more and arriving at the convenience store for a third time, a policeman was there.
マリアちゃん、鍵見つかったかい？
見つからない。
お嬢ちゃん、お名前は？
The policeman asked her name, but Maria didn't answer.
お母さんにおまわりさんとお話ししちゃいけないって言われてる
God,
の。
we got a fucking snitch up in here.
大丈夫だよ。おじさんは怖くないよ。お嬢ちゃんは晩ご飯は食べた？
だけどお家に入れないから食べられない。
お母さんはどうしてるの？今日は帰ってこないの？お仕事？お母さんの会社の連絡先わかるか？
Maria hung her head limply. She didn't understand why the policeman was getting mad at her. No, he probably wasn't getting mad at her, but if it reached her mother's ears, then she would definitely be in trouble. Even if she didn't understand the reason why she would be in trouble, she was just at least understood that much. But the policeman wouldn't let Maria go, and her head was swimming from hunger. The policeman noticed that, and it was decided that he'd listen to her story as they ate in the police box. Maria was taken to the police box, and she had her own heated in a microwave oven, and even salty rice crackers and hot tea were brought out for her. Watch the key be in the fucking bag. She had been told not to talk to policemen, but after being asked about Takatara, she responded, starting to feel that it wasn't a bad person. Anyway, she wouldn't be able to return home now, so she didn't know what to do. She told him Mama's work phone number, which she had been told not to tell no one of, and to use only in a very, very serious situation. In the tatami room inside the police box, so as she ate the udon that was so hot it felt like it would burn her. She watched the policeman making the phone call lazily, thinking, "Oh, I'm probably gonna get in trouble."
マリア、ママに怒られるかな。
I hope not.
おりゅう。
He must have been listening to the phone ringing for a very long time. With the receiver up to his ear, the policeman looked up at the clock,
営
grumbling.
業時間が終えちゃってるから出ないのかな。
あ、もしもし、有限会社アンチローザさんで、こちら小松川警察署千本桜駅前交番でございます。う大館じゃないや、後宮社長さんはいらっしゃいますか？はい。休暇中？
はい、社長は昨日から3日間休暇になってます。どういったご用件で？
いや、それでどちらにおられるか連絡先とか聞いてたりしませんかね？
ちょっとお待ちいただいてよろしいですか？ねえ、誰か社長の旅行先聞いてる？連絡先。
彼氏と札幌カニ食い放題って聞きました。
了解。もしもし、札幌に行ってるそうですけど、連絡先まではちょっとわかりません。
You didn't. What? What? Why didn't you? I could have just heard that. What the hell? You don't need to repeat that.
伝言しますか？
Sure.
そうですか。じゃあ、もし連絡がつきましたら、こちらから電話があったとお伝えできますか？はい。
I want to jump off an even taller building now. Oh, god damn it. Oh. After that, I was taken to the police department, which was even bigger, and ended up spending the night there. Then they asked me various things about myself. A lady who called herself the district welfare officer came by and asked about a lot of things. And I was told, you poor thing. When I heard that, I learned for the first time.
マリアってかわいそうだったの？ウリュウ、そんなことないよ。マリアは幸せ。
It's just one sad thing after another. Then Rosa came back. Oh, I want to fucking die. Marie was told to go to her room, but on her way back from the bathroom, she hid by the entrance to the living room and listened in on the exchange. The person who had come to visit was the female district welfare officer who had asked Maria various questions on the other day.
そういう押し付けはマリアは心が純粋すぎて繊細だから、無神経な子がいたら傷つけられてしまうんです。余計なおせっかいはやめてください。
でもね、お母さん、そんなに繊細な子ならなんで一人で家に放置しておくの？お母さんが一緒にいてあげるべきなんじゃないですか？
なるべく一緒にいるようにしています。そんなことあなたに指図される覚えはありません。
そうですか。この辺のご近所ではとても有名ですよ。お宅のお嬢さんが夜頻繁に買い物や食事に来るって、みんな気にしてて気を使ってくれてたんですよ。
どうしてうちの子だとは？子供なんて街中にいくらでもいるじゃないですか。勝手にうちのマリアだと決めつけないでください。夜に出歩く子供だってたまにはいるでしょう。それらが全てうちの子だという証拠でもあるんですか？
ライオンのぬいぐるみを抱いた女の子がよく夕食を食べに来る、買いに来るって、商店街でもとても有名だったんですよ。みんなマリアちゃんのことを思って大切にしてくれてました。
ライオンのぬいぐるみなんてどこにでもあります。自宅まで送るなんて余計なお世話です。マリアを誘拐するつもり？マリアに構わないで。マリアは私の子です。私が育ててます。おかしな施設に入れるつもりもまるでありません。余計なおせっかいはやめて。
ウリュウ、僕のこと
Yes.
大丈夫だよ。
Oh god, I wanna fucking die.
怒られるのはマリアだよ。サク太郎は関係ないよ。
I'm so depressed. Maria hugs Sakataro, continuing to watch her mother fearfully.
私もマリアと毎日一緒にいられたらと思います。
I do too.
でもシングルマザーですから働かなくちゃならない。私はこう見えても会社の社長ですから、社員の生活も背負っている。一年中仕事で忙しいんですよ。休む暇だってないんです。
そうでもこの3日間お休みだったんでしょ？
休みなんかじゃありません。私はずっと会社で泊まりがけで仕事をしていました。他の頼りない社員では片付けられない案件が私には山積みなんです。
どうしてそんな嘘つくの？
Please don't lie. It only makes everything worse.
あなたの会社の人が3日間お休みを取ってますって言ってるのよ。彼氏さんと北海道に行ってきたんでしょ？娘さんを3日間も置いて。
彼氏なんて知りません。北海道なんて知りません。どうしてそんなデタラメ言うの？どうして？なんか証拠でもあるの？何よあんた、勝手に人の家のことに口を出さないでよ。私はマリアを愛してるのよ。私には私なりの愛し方があるのよ。勝手に口出さないでよ。私は旅行になんて行ってないわよ。仕事してたのよ、ずっと。マリアに1秒でも早く会いたくて、仕事を少しでも早く片付けようと会社に泊まり込んで、ずっとずっとずっとずっとずっとずっとずっとずっと。もう帰って！帰ってよ！何なのよあんたは！帰って！帰って！
Stop. Stop. This isn't helping your case at all. It's not helping me either here. Rosa raged, her hair flying wildly. A teacup was knocked over from the force of her standing up. But far louder than that was the sound of her beating the table with both hands. When faced with this rage that could be accurately described as wild-eyed derangement, the district welfare officer couldn't help but be taken aback. And the same went for Marie, who was secretly watching from the hallway. Go to your room. She had already seen her mother in a rage several times before this, but she had never seen her this crazed with anger. When she saw this, Maria was sure this was no longer her mother. It was some other evil being that was possessing her mother's body. And then she herself was discovered by that evil being. Maria knew that she was being reflected in the evil being's eyes. Her mind went blank, and she felt as though her field of vision was racing off into the distance. After fiercely closing in on Maria, Rosa mercilessly slapped her on her small shoulders, and dropped her gaze towards the stuffed animal Maria was holding, Sakataru.
マリア、あなた、あれだけお外にそれを持って行っちゃダメって言ったのに、持って行ったのね。
I mean, I don't like the rage. I don't. Before anyone says I'm allowing this to happen, blah, 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 blah. Gonna take all your wind out of the sail. She is going a little too far. Not a little too far. She's going too far. She needs to actually be with her daughter. Surprise, surprise, I believe that. The one thing I will agree with her on is the fact she did tell Maria not to. She did technically tell her not to bring it with her. I don't care the reasons of why. She did tell her not to bring it. So I mean, that's a very valid piece of contradiction she has. Everything else is no, you can't do that. But technically, she has a point on this part.
ウリュウ、マリアは悪くないよ。僕がついていくって言ったの。違うよ。マリアが寂しいから勝手にサクタロを連れてったの。だからママ、サクタロは悪くないの。ウリュウ、マリア、サクタロは悪くないよ。サクタロは悪くないよ。
Instead, Maria, the brunt of Rosa's anger was aimed at the lion stuffed animal Maria was holding. The girl went shopping in the middle of the night, always clutching a lion stuffed animal. Because of that, she had become well known in the shopping center.
どうしてあんたはママの言うことがどうしてよ。どうしてママの言いつけがちゃんと守れないのよ、あんたは。
With every single word, she stamped her heel and banged furiously on the wall. Of course, she didn't make direct contact with Maria. However, the violence of the harsh sound certainly beat against her.
お母さん、おやめなさい。
話してよ。話せって言ってんでしょ。
Yeah, they really need a male officer here. No offense to this lady over here. You actually need someone that's physically stronger than Rosa. Come on now. The district welfare officer had come back to her senses and was pinning Rosa's arms behind her back. But the instant Rosa was touched, she went wild, furiously throwing the welfare officer off. That's not gonna help your case. She hit the table and fell to the ground. A teacup on the table smashed on the floor, making a violent sound.
マリアは悪くないよ。僕が悪いの。だからマリアを叱らないで。サク太郎を連れて行ったのはマリア。サク太郎は悪くないの。サク太郎は悪くないの。だからサク太郎をそんな怖い目で見ないで。見ないで。マリアを叱らないで。マリアを叱らないで。うりゅー。
あんたさっきから何をやってるの？あんたそのお人形さんごっこ外でもやってたの？お店の人の前でもやってたの？だから少しは考えろこのバカ！なんであんたはそう大バカなのよ！正直におっしゃいな。お外でお買い物をするとき、ママに内緒でいつもそのぬいぐるみを持ち歩いてたのね。その変なぬいぐるみをやめな。ぬいぐるみじゃなくあなたの言葉で喋りなさい。
サク太郎はぬいぐるみじゃないよ。マリアの友達だよ。
This is so fucking depressing.
ぬいぐるみって言わないで。
はいはい、わかったわ。サク太郎だったわね、名前。ママに内緒でそのサク太郎人形を持っていつもお買い物に行っていたのね。
Maria admitted it honestly. If she hadn't admitted, then Sakataro would have said something to take the blame. So by admitting it right away, she was protecting her small friend.
サク太郎だけ？他には？まさか学校にも何か変なの持って行ってるんじゃないでしょうね。
お母さん、お嬢さんは悪くないでしょう。そのキスもおやめなさい。
あんたは黙ってな。私と娘の話でしょ。ほらマリア、ママの目を見て話をしなさい。ママの質問にお返事は？
サク太郎だけじゃないの。ウサギのみんなも一緒。
今も持ってるの？
Maria fished around in her pockets, pulling out 4 ceramic rabbits with her tiny hand. The rabbits were her close friends who would be together with her at school in Sakataro's place. But when Rosa saw that, she shook her head slightly as though dizzy. On a school notice, it had been written that Maria was apparently bringing toys to school and playing with them, and her family was instructed to try and prevent this. What a fucking surprise, right? It's like I didn't totally call that. But Rosa had rejected that, blaming the teacher and phoning in a protest of her own to the school, saying that there was no way her child would bring toys to the school. Oh, God. For nearly an hour, she shouted at the vice principal to stop making false accusations about her daughter. To a certain degree, those at the school had grasped that Maria was a pitiful girl. They knew that small toys she brought were her only friends, so they had done their best to overlook it. But when the other students caught sight of them, some of the boys had started complaining that only she could bring toys, and the school had racked their brains on how to cope with this. They tried to gently send a warning by way of the mother, but after Rosa's overreaction, even Maria's teacher decided to overlook it. But now Rosa knew. She had been the one who was wrong, and her daughter really had been bringing toys to school. And those at the school had known that she was a disgrace who brought toys to school and played with them as though they were her only friends. To Rosa, who thought her daughter was just a little different from normal children, having this peculiar side of her daughter exposed and found fault with was more than anything else something she couldn't bear. So she howled. She raged. The district welfare officer tried to cut in between Rosa and Maria again, but she only met with Rosa's wrath once more. Rosa once again threw the woman off her face like a demon, and when even that failed to curb her anger, she stomped on the ground over and over again so forcefully that it seemed she might break through the floor. Then, after seeming to come back to her senses for a second, she immediately froze her harsh breathing and asked Maria,
Maria, そのウサギの音楽隊はマリアの大切なお友達。
she said that, Rosa grew up one of the rabbits from Maria's hand. Then she shoved it in front of Maria's eyes so she could see very well. The cute rabbit holding a trumpet was a small doll like a chess piece. She slowly lifted into the air. Of course, Maria's and Sakataro's eyes also followed it. And then with the speed of that, the eye couldn't fall, she smashed it against the wall. Christ alive. She'd half have imagined that this was the worst possible thing that might happen. So she instantly realized what had been done. So Maria let out a short, despairing scream. It was in pieces. It had been small and sturdy, but that hadn't been enough to withstand her mother's fierce rage.
ママの言うことをちゃんと聞かないから一つ壊れちゃったわ。今後ママの言うことを守らないためにまた一つ壊すからね。覚えておきなさい。
あなたそんなことするなんて母親ですか？そんなことしてお嬢さんが傷つかないと思ってるんですか？
マリアが傷つく。私も傷ついているのよ。私の傷は誰が責任取ってくれるのよ。誰が？あんたは黙っててって言ってるでしょ。
やめてママ。悪いのはマリア。おばさんを怒らないで。マリアは悪くないよ。僕が悪いの。マリアを怒らないで。うりゃうりゃうりゃうりゃうりゃ。
そのぬいぐるみごっこをやめろって言ったでしょ。大体ね、気持ち悪いのよ。ぬいぐるみがお友達ってあんた今年でいくつよ。何歳よ。こんなの布と綿の気持ち悪い下手くそなぬいぐるみじゃない。こんなのしか友達いないのあんた。こんな化け物のぬいぐるみとお友達ごっこしてる暇があったらちゃんとした人間の友達を作りなさいよ。なんであなたにはいつまでもお友達ができないのよ。そうだからいつまでもクラスで変わり者扱いされてバカにされて。ほんとしっかりしていい加減にして。
It feels like my heart's being ripped in half.
こんなぬいぐるみ遊びもう卒業しちゃってよ。
うりゅうりゅう。
だからそのぬいぐるみごっこをやめろって言ってるでしょ。
ママ返して。サクタロ返して。うりゅううりゅううりゅううりゅう。
Yeah, we're done now. We're done for the day. We're done for the day. Nope, nope, nope. I need to take a break. Oh god damn it. Oh god. This is too terrible. I don't know when I'll be back at this. Probably be a couple days. I need that. I need warm, happy thoughts for a second. See you guys next time.